An ode to human existence blossoming from despair. Why you must read Boccaccio's Decameron. Dear readers, does the word classic make you feel as if a heavy stone were placed onto your heart? Perhaps it feels difficult, tedious, and irrelevant to your life. However, the book I would like to introduce to you today is a collection of remarkable stories that will instantly shatter such preconceived notions. It is none other than Giovanni Boccaccio's Decameron. Far from the rigid and lifeless classic you might expect, the Decameron is a celebration of humanity itself. It honestly captures our most primal emotions, brilliant wit, sometimes blunt and joyfully humorous love stories, and even the darker sides of life. Regardless of your level of knowledge or cultivation, it is filled with stories that anyone with a human heart can empathize with and enjoy. Let us jointly explore why this book is essential and what significance it holds for us today. 1. The power of stories blossoming in the midst of despair. The birth of the Decameron. The background of the Decameron is centered on the mid-14th century, when one of the most horrific disasters in human history, the Black Death, swept through Europe. Florence, Italy, became a hellish city where more than half of its population perished. People lost their loved ones, society collapsed, and even the faintest hope for tomorrow disappeared into an abyss of despair. Amidst this grim backdrop, 10 young people, 7 women and 3 men, decide to flee Florence and take refuge in a quiet villa in the countryside. Seeking peace and stability, they escape the fear and chaos of death that shadowed their city. Yet fear and emptiness still surrounded them. At that moment, one young woman proposes, "What if each of us takes turns telling a story every day to share joy and forget our sorrow?" This is how the Decameron, or 10 Days of Stories, begins. Over 10 days, the group selects a daily theme, and each person contributes a story. In this way, a total of 100 stories unfold. In an era where death dominated life, they tried to reclaim the beauty of life and the wisdom of humanity through stories. The act of storytelling transcended being a mere distraction. It became a powerful tool for overcoming despair and rediscovering the meaning of life. This origin story resonates deeply with us today. In an age marked by pandemics, disasters, and widespread social anxiety, how do we find hope and continue living? The young people in the Decameron show us the answer through the oldest form of human communication, stories. Stories allow us to temporarily escape our reality's pain, imagine new worlds, and foster empathy and solidarity with others. They offer the wisdom and courage necessary to overcome tough times and rise again. 2. The diverse spectrum of human nature into the 100 stories. The 100 stories contained in the Decameron function as an encyclopedia of human nature. Boccaccio features characters from all social strata, nobles and commoners, clergy and merchants, vividly portraying their desires, loves, wisdom, foolishness, hypocrisy, and truth without restraint. This pursuit of depicting raw humanity beyond the constraints of class or moral judgment was revolutionary in its time. A. The many faces of love. The stories of the Decameron cannot be discussed without mentioning love. From passionate, forbidden, pure, and humorous love, to tragic love, the spectrum of love is laid bare in ways that surpass even today's over-the-top dramas and romance novels. Couples devising clever strategies to win their love. Individuals agonizing over love that transcends social status. Clever individuals who take revenge on unfaithful spouses. At times, the honestly human nature that embraces physical desire. These love stories transcend time, touching on the universal feelings of humanity. Sweetness and bitterness, joy and jealousy, sacrifice and selfishness are all interwoven, allowing readers to empathize with the characters or be surprised by their wit. B. The wisdom of human ingenuity in overcoming crisis. In many stories, characters face crises or difficult circumstances and overcome them solely through their own wit and ingenuity. They overwhelm their opponents with eloquence, gain advantage through clever tricks, and solve complex problems with unexpected ideas. A wife who outwits a cunning merchant. A traveler who escapes a dangerous trap with clever words. A character who turns the tables on detractors with a smart move. These stories offer readers hope that rather than succumb to life's hardships, we may overcome them through wisdom. They also humorously and satisfyingly demonstrate the immense power of human intellect. C. Sharp satire on hypocrisy and absurdity. Boccaccio boldly criticizes religious hypocrisy and the corruption of the social elite. The hypocritical behaviors of clergy with absolute authority and the gluttony of aristocrats are depicted with both humor and sharp satire. Monks who commit all sorts of evil behind the holy disguise of religion. The powerful who try to gain unfair profit using their authority. Individuals who appear pious on the surface but are consumed by inner desires. This satire remains relevant today, reminding us to see beyond appearances, understand the essence, and maintain critical views on societal absurdities. Boccaccio guides readers to think and judge for themselves, rather than offering moral lectures. D. Destiny and human effort. Characters in the Decameron are sometimes toyed by destiny and sometimes carve their own path through effort and will. Although unpredictable coincidences may shake life entirely, the message is clear ultimately, human choices and actions are most important. This prompts deep reflection on the many decisions and consequences we face in life. 3. Why read the Decameron today? Lessons beyond classical literature. There are many reasons why the Decameron does not remain a mere collection of old stories but continues to offer profound meaning for us today. Evidence of human resilience in crisis. The Decameron powerfully demonstrates how humans seek the meaning of life and maintain hope even when death casts a shadow. In the various social and personal crises that we face today, it presents wisdom on how to affirm life, find small joys, and overcome difficulties with communal strength. It makes us realize how stories can help us forget pain, suggest new visions, and strengthen human bonds. Be a deep insight into human nature. Regardless of how time passes, human nature remains largely unchanged. The desires, jealousy, love, foolishness, and wisdom of the characters in the Decameron are not very different from our own realities today. This book presents timeless questions about what it means to be human and why we act the way we do, helping us find answers. It broadens our understanding of others' complex emotions and actions and ultimately offers the chance to look deeper into ourselves. C. The value of diverse and flexible thinking. The 100 stories show various aspects of life without moral constraints and present life as it is. This helps readers understand how complex and multi-layered life is, and that there is no single answer. It encourages flexible thinking beyond binary notions of right or wrong, good or bad. At times, considering the ambiguous actions of morally ambiguous characters and reflecting on their motivations and outcomes can broaden our perspectives. D. A reading as a source of joy and rest. Above all, the Decameron is a highly enjoyable book. Its ingenious plots, vivid character descriptions, and unpredictable twists quickly draw readers into the story. You can derive abundant value simply by enjoying the stories, rather than forcing yourself to understand difficult content. It reawakens the pure joy of reading and offers a precious moment to pause from a busy life and expand your imagination. It can help overcome the boredom often associated with classical literature and serve as an excellent introduction to rediscovering the pleasures of reading. E. A new approach to classical literature. Let us return to the initial assumption that this book does not demand academic knowledge or cultivation. The Decameron is a book that can be enjoyed without specialized learning. The human struggles, laughter, and sorrows contained within it belong to all of us, transcending time. Through this book, we can realize that classical literature is not distant from us, but closely connected to our lives. Rather than being burdened by difficult annotations, you can experience new interest and closeness to classical literature by fully immersing yourself in the stories. 4. Conclusion within the grand narrative of life. Boccaccio's Decameron is not merely a collection of old stories. It is a significant record of humanity that affirms life during a time of despair and seeks hope through humor, wisdom, and the power of storytelling. The stories that bloomed in the despair of the plague illuminate the brilliance of life and the depths of human nature all the more. Even if you feel lacking in knowledge or cultivation, there is no need to worry. The Decameron is an open treasure trove of stories for everyone. Turn the pages, and you will find yourself seated beside the young people in 14th century Italy in a villa, listening to their delightful, occasionally provocative, and sometimes profoundly insightful stories. This book raises deep questions about how we can live without losing hope amidst life's many trials, how diverse human beings are, and how we can understand others around us. On the journey to discovering these answers, it provides the ultimate joy and wisdom of reading. So do not hesitate, open the Decameron. Within lie 100 precious stories waiting to enrich and deepen your life. May this classic offer you a fresh perspective and joy to your everyday life.